Hey guys, hello and welcome to this Q&A session. I'll be starting in just a couple of minutes. So go to the Q&A section, guys. I hope you are having a great time in this 5-day bootcamp. There is a Q&A button in your Zoom app. Click on the Q&A button and post your question. Also jump into the chat and share with me anything that you want to share. What has been your favorite learning so far in the 5-day bootcamp? And tell me your name, which city are you from? I'd love to get to know you guys a little better. So jump into the chat and share your name, which city you are from, and go to the Q&A section. There is a Q&A button in your Zoom app. Click on that and post your question. I'm here to answer your questions for the next 30 minutes. And it's been amazing this week. A lot of people have woken up at 5 a.m. and it was great to see you guys live. So Ashwini is here from Delhi. Welcome, guys. A lot of people here. Uh, Post your questions in the Q&A section only. So there is a Q&A button in your Zoom app. Make sure you click on that and post your question. Nikhil is here from Pune. That's amazing. Vijay Priya says getting up at 5 a.m. is fantastic. That is amazing. So a lot of people were able to wake up at 5 a.m. in the group you saw. I opened it at 5 a.m. We have multiple WhatsApp groups this week. So in every group around 80 to 100 people. There was a smaller group also in which around I guess 36 people out of 60 woke up at 5 a.m. So it was amazing to see the energy this week. So whatever questions you have, guys, related to the day 1 to day 4 videos, make sure you jump into the Q&A section and post your questions. Right. Okay, so all those are here, guys. A lot of people jumping in. Go to the chat also and post what's your name, which city are you from. Lots of people joining in from around the country. Bijal is here from Mumbai. Ritesh Raj from Jabalpur. Urmila from Faridabad. Welcome, guys. Welcome to this live session. Sure. So I'll start answering a question in just 60 seconds. I want you to post as many questions as you can in the question answer section, but I will not be answering every single question. That is the catch here. What I want to do is, instead of giving you one line answers, because we don't have too much time, I'll pick the 7 or 8 questions that are relevant to everybody and I will answer them for you guys, right? Which is common and which everybody will be benefited from. I will be answering those questions from the Q&A section. So there's a Q&A button in your Zoom app. Click on that and post your question and ask me anything that you want to ask me. Also jump into the chat and tell me what's your name, which city are you from, and what has been your favorite part of the 5-day bootcamp so far. So Aravindan is here from Chennai, Suvarna from Pune, Dr. Arjun from Chhattisgarh, Arjun from Chennai, okay, Asmat from Kashmir, Smita from Hyderabad. Potential Activity Center. Somebody says your videos are just brilliant. You have been doing great work. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're getting the benefits out of it. So guys, last 30 seconds, post a question in the Q&A section. I'll start answering your questions in just a few seconds. Santosh is here from Aurangabad. Mayur Jain says hello. Ganesh is here from Vijaypur. Mayur from Surat. Kunal from Delhi says, I love the exercise routine and writing check to myself. That's amazing. Right. So I'll start answering some of your questions. And so here's the first question from somebody's posted this anonymously. Okay, Payal from Pune says, my learning, I feel more energetic nowadays. So there's not a question, but thank you for sharing your feedback. I'm so glad you are feeling the energy. So everybody who woke up at 5 a.m., guys, wasn't it amazing to see that extra amount of productive time that you can create in your life and the incredible energy that comes with waking up early while the rest of the world is asleep? I hope you experienced that this week. And Prashant is here from Ashok Nagar, Madhya Pradesh, says, I want to work with you 30 days. How can I work with you? Please reply. Yes, Sriji. So Prashant, everybody who's interested, don't worry. Tomorrow in the day 5 live session, we'll do 3 things. Right. First thing we'll do is the perspective exercise. That's a 15-minute exercise. It'll give you fresh perspective on your life. Right. The second thing we will do, I'll give you in just 2 minutes, the secret to building permanent habits. So you guys have started these new habits, right? Waking up at 5 a.m., doing exercise, setting a goal, and all of that. I'll show you what is the secret to turn them into lifelong permanent habits, right? And the third thing I will do tomorrow, the final thing in the last 40 minutes, I will give you a detailed breakdown of my 30-day challenge. So I have this incredible course, this incredible training, action-based training of 30 days, which has now been done by almost 5,000 people. I'll give you a great offer. See, I don't create expensive courses, right? 40,000, 80,000, all of that. I create very affordable courses. Everybody who joined this, you know how affordable this is, right? So I'll give you a great offer tomorrow night at the end of the day 5 session to join the 30-day challenge, because my next batch is starting from Monday. And I want all of you to continue the momentum of these 5 days and join this amazing challenge, which has radically transformed the lives of 4.5 to 5,000 people already. I'll be sharing the stories with you guys also. So make sure you don't miss tomorrow's session. And you'll get a very affordable offer to join me for 30 days in this incredible 30-day challenge that I have. Now, let's take the next question here. Nikhil is here. Nikhil Marathi says, got confused on goal setting, like 3 year. Do we can implement on small goal? So here's the thing. Whenever you have, a vision for yourself, right? 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, that should be a big goal, a big outcome that you want to achieve in your life, that ideal dream life that you want to live, right? We're doing the Dream Life Bootcamp and we're going to do the 30-day Dream Life Challenge. The goal here is to build that ideal version of yourself, that picture that you have of yourself. Now, when you talk about small goals, even a big goal needs to be broken down into small goals, right? Into small steps which will help you achieve those goals, those milestones that you need to hit on a 30-day basis or a 60-day basis. A company grows over decades, but every company works on a quarterly basis. They have a 3 month, 4 month target, right? They have to achieve and things like that. So you also have to break your big goal down into the smallest chunks. You can do it even weekly if you can manage it, or at least monthly or quarterly, and achieve those will be the steps in the ladder to take you towards your big goal. That is the concept here. And in fact, if you join my 30-day challenge on Monday, I will actually make you set a 30-day project and finish it with me in those 30 days, where I make you start living your dream life. So I'll be telling you about that tomorrow. And yeah, that's my advice on this. Vijay Priya says, becoming rich quickly and how to sustain it. So this is one of the worst mindsets to have. Don't think about becoming rich quickly. If you think about getting rich quick, it's the fastest way to, lose motivation, because there is no such secret of becoming rich quick, right? It will lead you to, a lot of people who might take advantage of you. So this is the wrong mindset to have. Don't think about getting rich quick. Now, the money that will flow into your life, if you want to become rich, it's an amazing ambition to have. Don't have a negative relationship with money, guys. You should not feel hesitation in writing I want to be rich, because being rich will enable you to have so much resources that you can change the world. You want to feed a poor man, you need to buy the food, right? If you want to grow the food, you will need money to pump water, to buy the seeds, the fertilizers. Nothing will happen without money. So have a positive relationship with money. You're not going to become rich and become bad. You're not going to become a bad person. That will enable you to do good things. So if your intention is to use the money for good things, for yourself, your family, and the world around you, you should have no hesitation in saying I want to be damn rich, right? That's the best thing that you can do for yourself and the world, right? So a lot of people very hesitant to write I am rich or I will be rich. That's the wrong mindset to have. Make friends, be proud of it, that you want to achieve money in your life, right? And then the core here is the inflow of money in your life is going to be directly proportional to the value you give, right? If you're in a job, how valuable you are to the company is how much the company will pay you. If you're an entrepreneur, how much value you're giving to your customers. If you're in a business, how much value you're giving to your customers will determine how much money you get, right? There is no get rich quick. If you can provide a lot of value in a short amount of time, then you can get a lot of money in a short amount of time, right? That is the way you need to think about this. No matter what you do, the inflow of money will be directly proportional to the value that you give, right? So Arjun says, from Chennai, useful and the seriousness explained in practical methods. Thank you so much that you liked it, but it's not a question. I'm glad you're enjoying the 5-day boot camp. So Kavya says, is there going to be a live session tomorrow as well? Yes, Kavya, there is going to be a live session. That is the day 5 session. Today is just a question answer session. I wanted to do this extra session today to answer all your questions and doubts. The day 5 content will be tomorrow from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. and make sure you don't miss that. Okay, Haresh is here from Mumbai. Welcome, Haresh. Okay. So I think this is a very important question that Kavita has asked: how to maintain consistency in doing anything regularly. Kavita from Bangalore, and this is a very important question. Consistency, right? So let me, take this opportunity to give you something amazing today, over and above the 5-day bootcamp, because I have these 3 keys to consistency framework, which I teach in my 30-day challenge, right? So I want to give this to you guys here. Now, if consistency is a problem for you, write yes in the chat. Do you want to learn my 3 keys to consistency? I'll take 5 minutes and break this down for you so you can understand. If you start something new, you're not able to do it consistently, you want to learn the 3 keys to consistency, type yes in the chat right now, right? A lot of people typing yes, yes, yes. Sure, that's amazing. So I want to give things today that will be valuable for a lot of people, since a lot of people are typing yes. Here is my 3 keys to consistency. In fact, write this down. Every time you attend a training, video, live session, anything with me, make sure you're writing stuff down. If you're not writing, you're not really learning. So Here is my three keys to consistency. Key number one, the first key to consistency or the foundation of being consistent, it comes from emotional consistency. Write this down. Emotional consistency. What is emotional consistency? See, have you seen those people who are really excited to wake up in the morning and go to their job, right? They're excited to work on whatever it is they're working on, even studies, even business. Those people have that passion, that fire inside them, that jump out of bed every morning. So how do you build that? You build that by having a clear vision. I made you do it on day one itself, writing down your why, your mission in life. And you build emotional consistency by reading it every night you go to sleep. Before you go to sleep, every night you need to write down your why, keep it on a card, right? And read it every night before you go to sleep. You can write down a goal and read it every night before you go to sleep, right? That is the secret to building emotional consistency. I'll tell you why. Because your subconscious mind is still awake when you're asleep. It is looking for solutions. It is looking for, answers to the most prominent questions in your life at the moment. So you need to train your subconscious mind to attract certain things in your life. And now I can already see another question here, which is about, see, uh, does the law of attraction work? So that is the next question I'll answer, right? It is related to emotional consistency a little bit and your subconscious mind a little bit. So don't worry, I'll explain this in a lot more detail. So first key to consistency is emotional consistency, knowing your why, knowing your vision in life. That will be the bedrock, the foundation of consistency. If you don't have a strong reason and an emotionally moving reason, now if you just write down, I want to become an IAS officer, that is not enough. You have to have something that will move you emotionally. For example, you may write down, I want to see tears in the eyes of my mother when I show her that I got the rank number 12 out of, in the country in the UPSC exam. That will be emotionally moving because your mother has nurtured this ambition from the last 20 years, struggle through her life, hoping for you to achieve something great like becoming an IAS officer. So that is the way you write down your why, something that is really deeply moving, your goal, right? It has to have emotional attachment to you. That is the first key to consistency. The second key to consistency is behavioral consistency. Now, let's say you have written down a deeply emotionally moving why and you read it every night, or your goal, you read it every night. You are emotionally consistent. But when you get to work, when you're sitting down in front of your laptop or studying or whatever it is that you do, your behavior needs to be consistent. And a lot of people fail here. Behavioral consistency, how do you achieve this? See, when you're working, you get a notification on this your phone and you feel like, I'll check the notification for 30 seconds, and before you know it, 45 minutes have passed. In the modern day and age, digital distractions are the biggest distractions. People will not come to your home and distract you. They will call you on Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp, and they'll send you messages and forwards and all of this to distract you. So how do you build behavioral consistency? See, you build behavioral consistency by firstly removing those distractions. Remove those distractions. I made you do this also on day one. You remove those distractions, block those apps, uninstall those apps. Even in your physical life, if you have a distraction, you need to remove those distractions. The second step, how do you make sure that you don't go back to those distractions? You don't install those apps again. You do a 24-hour dopamine detox as often as possible, because your brain is addicted to instant gratification. It wants that dopamine, that constant addiction to getting those wins. How do you get rid of this for 24 hours? I asked you to do this on day one. If you haven't done it, do it on a Sunday or a holiday. You don't give yourself any inputs, right? No screen time, no laptop, no phone, nothing. And it is very difficult to do. Those who have done it, you will know how crazy it will drive you for 24 hours, and you will realize how addicted you are to your phone. But the beauty is, the next day when you wake up, you have this amazing level of clarity. Right now, you're willing to do tasks because your brain has been rid of dopamine. You're ready to do tasks. You're ready, and you're doing tasks that will give you delayed gratification. That will give you your outcome later. Right? That is the power of doing a dopamine detox. In fact, you should do it. I still do it once a month at least. I want you, if you are starting out, if you feel you're really addicted to instant gratification, you should do it every week, right? That is how you build permanent behavioral consistency. And you know so Vijay Pare is already sharing today is the third day since I watched Facebook and YouTube. So 3 days already eliminated. That's amazing. The third key to consistency is, this is very important, the winning mindset or a winning consistency, right? A lot of people also struggle here. Now, let's say you have removed these distractions, right? You have emotional consistency, you have behavioral consistency. But what happens? You attended this workshop with me, or you did something that motivated you a lot. Now you set a goal. Okay, I want to crack UPSC. I will finish 100 chapters. To finish 100 chapters, I have to do 4 chapters in a day. You set a goal like this. Or I want to write a book. The book is going to be 1 lakh words. So I want to write 5,000 words in a day. The problem here is you have set such a big task for yourself that you have set yourself up for failure. Now what happens? You've set this big task. You will start writing maybe every day. First day you will not finish 5,000, you will write 2,500 words and you will get demotivated. Next day, another example, reading 4 chapters, maybe you'll read 2.5 chapters and you will demotivate yourself that you didn't finish the task. Third day, again you demotivate yourself. Within 5 to 7 days you have given up on that task. Has anybody experienced this? Because you are not finishing your daily task, you demotivate yourself. This is a big issue. You need to eliminate this, and the answer to this is, how do you eat an elephant? Can anybody tell me here? How do you eat an elephant? You have this elephant sized task that you've set for yourself, but how can a human being eat an elephant? You eat an elephant one piece at a time, right? That is the answer to this, which means you build winning consistency, a winning mindset, by setting a task that will not take you more than 15 minutes to do. Now you will tell me that, you know, I can write 5,000 words in a day, Ankit, or I can, read 4 chapters in a day. I will tell you, yes, you can, but you cannot do it on day one itself if you have not been doing it consistently for the last 6 months. Agree? You can't suddenly grow from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. Nobody can do that. So you have to start by setting tasks that take you only 15 minutes to do. Your goal should be to write 200 words in a day for the first 7 days, not 5,000. The beauty of this is because the task is only 15 minutes. You have to set a task of reading 4 pages, not 4 chapters, right? Because the task is only 15 minutes long, it will become much easier to get started. You will not procrastinate. You'll feel like, oh, 15 minutes, it will be done quickly, let's do it. It becomes much easier to get started, and after you finish those 200 words, you won't stop. Maybe you'll write 2,000, 2,500. Now instead of being demotivated that you did not write 5,000 words, you are now motivated that you have exceeded your goal of writing 200 words, right? And next day you're even more motivated, next day you're even more motivated. That is the cycle I want you to get into. There is a side benefit to this, because you have small tasks of 15 minutes each. Now you will finish those tasks, you will tick them off, and you will get a dopamine rush. But you are now getting your dopamine from the right sources, from doing tasks that is taking you closer to the life of your dreams. So you are using your instant gratification addiction to your own advantage, right? This is the third key to consistency: winning mindset, winning consistency, which you build by proving to yourself that you can win by setting those small tasks, right? And winning with them, finishing them every day. And these are the three keys to consistency. I've given you the exact steps to implement them: emotional consistency, behavioral consistency, and winning consistency, or winning mindset. So those who got it, type got it in the chat. If you understood what this is, now your job is to find out what is missing for you and implement that using the steps that I just gave you. So if you got it, type got it in the chat. Yes, Twinkle says got it. A lot of people typing got it. Those who missed, guys, some people are still joining. If you missed the first part of this session, don't worry. I will post the recording of this session around 1.5 hours later. It will take us time to process, and you can watch the three keys to consistency and implement this in your life. So I wanted to just dive in depth because this will help a lot of people. So I wanted to give you this. Okay. So another person has asked, how does the law of attraction work? Now, a lot of people think this is woo woo. In fact, two people have asked, is the law of attraction right or wrong? Now, a lot of people have become very skeptical of law of attraction. How can it be? I can just ask the universe, I want this, and I can go to sleep and I will get it like magic. That's not how it works, right? Law of attraction is not, you know, asking anything and not doing anything about it. Law of attraction, I will going to give you a very simple example which is going to really unlock how it works for you. Let's take this example. Let's say you want to buy a new car. A lot of you may have experienced this. You go to a showroom, right? Let's say you go to this, some new model has come out, Kia Seltos, something has come out, right? Kia Sonet. You go to the showroom, you see that car, right? The salesman shows you, sir, this is the car, these are the features. You see that car, you are thinking about it, you don't buy it, you just see it and you go back home, right? Now next day when you're traveling from your home to your office, suddenly you start noticing that car everywhere. Has anybody experienced this? Earlier, you used to just see Swift and Wagoner everywhere. From today, you have started to notice that car. It is there also. Oh, that is the car. That is the car. Yes? Payal says yes. A lot of people, yes. Why does this happen? Because earlier, your mind was not conscious to the possibility of owning that car. The car was there, but you couldn't see it. You were not attracting it in your life. You were not able to see it or notice it because you were not conscious to the possibility of owning it. Now that you have made yourself conscious to the possibility of creating it in your life, owning it, getting it, buying it, you are now able to observe it. Similarly, Your subconscious mind plays a major role in what opportunities you observe in your life. Let's say you have decided, you've set a goal, you've asked the universe that you want to create a business over 10 years, you want to become an entrepreneur, and maybe right now you're in a job. You go to the office, there is a notice board maybe in your office. You never look at it because you never set goals. Suddenly you've started to, you notice from the corner of your eye, this entrepreneur is going to come and give a speech on Sunday. Your mind now attracted it. It was always there, you used to never notice it, but now you're noticing it. And you'll go to that seminar, you will attend it, maybe you'll see how to meet this person, maybe you get an idea. And this is how it attracts those opportunities in your life that take you closer to your goal. This is how the law of attraction works practically, by your subconscious mind, right? So it is a very, very practical thing. It has created amazing, relationships, health, wealth, and a lot more for me. So I hope you understand this. If you got this in a practical sense, type got it in the chat. How the law of attraction works. It is your subconscious mind that makes it work. Obviously, there is a lot more to this, and you can learn it from some advanced courses, maybe from me or from anybody else. But if you got how it works, type got it in the chat. That's great. So somebody asked a very important question here. Suggest some books that you want to start reading with. Okay, so what I will do here is, if you want me to suggest some of my favorite books, type yes in the chat. Do you want me to suggest some of my favorite books that I want you guys to read? Yes. Okay. Type yes in the chat quickly. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of people typing yes. Beautiful. So here's what I'm going to do. Now, you need to have a power hour in the morning, right? Your first thing you need to do, first 20 minutes of your power hour, you need to exercise. I've already given you the exercise, the walk exercise. You can do that, or you can do anything else. If you're already doing yoga, you can do that. If you're already going to the gym, you can do that. Now, the second part is meditation, right? And the third part is reading. So meditation, what I want you to do is, you can either listen to the Earl Nightingale's audio that I gave you. That is also a good meditation. That is also a good mind programming to attract wealth in your life. Or you can do this amazing meditation that I do. I actually tell this to people in my 30-day challenge, but since I'm doing this session for you guys, I just want to give this to you right now. There is this 6-phase meditation by Vishen Lakhiani, which is proven to work wonders for people, and it is free. So write this down. There is this app called Om Vana, OMVANA, Om Vana app. It is absolutely free. Inside this Om Vana app, there is a 18-minute meditation. Perfect timing for your power hour. 18-minute meditation. It is called the 6-phase meditation by Vishen Lakhiani. Vishen Lakhiani is the creator of this meditation. It takes you through 6 different phases of your emotional being during that meditation. And I love it. I still do it as often as I can. I recommend you do it every single day, right? Now, the third part, reading. Here are some of the books that I recommend everybody must read. Since we're talking a lot about money today, for some reason, I want you to read 2 books related to money, finance, and attracting wealth in your life. The first one is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Write this down. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Amazing book. You must read that. Practically about your life. The second thing is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich is the name of the book. The name of the author is Napoleon Hill, right? That's enough about money, right? Uh, Other books that I love. Number one is obviously read the book 5 a.m. Club, the 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma, but also read Robin Sharma's first book. His first book is called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. That was his first book. That is why he became so famous. I definitely want you to read that. Another book that I want you to read from my mentor, Tony Robbins, is Awaken the Giant Within. So I consider Tony Robbins to be my mentor. I'm undergoing a certification to become one of India's youngest Tony Robbins certified life coaches, right? I've trained over 35,000 people in these workshops, over 200 people as a life coach one-on-one. And I've done all his training, spent over $15,000 doing all of it, right? So his book is Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. You must read that amazing book. Apart from that, those who want to read kind of stories or inspiring autobiographies, there are 2 autobiographies that I really love. One is Sir Richard Branson's autobiography. It's called Losing My Virginity. Losing My Virginity is the autobiography of Sir Richard Branson. He's a billionaire worth over $5 billion, but more importantly, he's a very inspiring person. He's worked with Nelson Mandela and a lot of different people around the world. I definitely want you to read it. It's a thick book with pictures and everything. You should definitely read that. The second autobiography you can read is from the founder of Nike. It's called Shoe Dog, SHOE, Shoe Dog. You can definitely read that book. Okay, I guess that's enough. That is all the books I would recommend for now. It's a great place to get started. Right. Sure. So if you missed it, I will share the recording of this. That's not an issue. And we can, okay. Asma says, how can we follow this routine on a consistent basis? So yes, I've answered the 3 keys to consistency. If you missed it, you can watch it in the first part of this session. And tomorrow also, I'm going to give you a secret to making these habits into permanent lifelong habits. So quickly, I want to just tell you that tomorrow from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m., we are going to do 3 things. I want nobody to miss this. Make sure you are there. Firstly, we'll do something called the perspective exercise, right? The perspective exercise is an exercise that will give you fresh perspective on your life, 15 minutes. Then we will do building permanent habits. How do you take these new habits you have learned, waking up at 5 a.m., doing exercise, and turning them into lifelong habits? I'll give you the secret to that tomorrow. And then finally, for the last 40 minutes, I'll give you a complete breakdown of my 30-day challenge, because my next batch is starting from Monday. And I want all of you to join in tomorrow live itself. I'll give you an offer to join my 30-day challenge. Make sure you all join. We'll get started on Monday, right? So these 3 things we'll be doing tomorrow. Make sure you don't miss that. Let's go on, right? And I'll try to answer, find some questions. See, there are a lot of questions here. Obviously, I'll not be able to answer all of them. I will try and find those questions which are, relevant to everybody here, and I'll answer them. Maybe I'll give you another chance on Sunday to again ask me the question that I can't answer today. So here's a very interesting question. Dakshayani says, yesterday I was able to wake up at 5 a.m., but today I was too tired that I overslept. How to overcome it? Firstly, make sure you are following the 8 steps that I gave you to wake up at 5 a.m. And in those 8 steps, step number 3 is to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If you don't get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you will feel tired. Apart from that, your body, it is being suddenly shifted, right? Your sleep cycle, your biological rhythm, your circadian rhythm has been shifted. So for the first 2-3 days, it is totally normal. Up to 7 days, it is totally normal to feel tired. But it is very important to do exercise because it regulates the hormones in your body. If you do exercise every day, it gives you a better quality of sleep at night, right? It also regulates your cycles much better ways than without exercise. Apart from that, some pointers I want to give you. If you feel sleepy in the afternoon, a lot of people tell me I feel sleepy in the afternoon. Make sure you avoid having too many carbs, because in our Indian diet we have chapati and rice, too many carbohydrates during the afternoon. Reduce that. Switch to more protein, switch to more fibers if you can, salads and things like that. That will help you avoid that slump, because when you have a lot of carbs, there's this sugar rush that you get, and then there is a crash and you feel lethargic and sleepy. All of that you can avoid. Also, if you feel like you don't get proper sleep at night, you can't feel sleepy very quickly, you're very tired and things like that, there is this study that says if you do a gratitude practice before you go to bed, it improves the quality of your sleep, right? If you write down 3 to 5 things that you are really thankful for in your life, you have food to eat, your loved ones are alive, they're great, you had a nice cup of coffee in the morning, you met this amazing person today, whatever it may be, it will improve the quality of your sleep, right? Apart from that, make sure your room is dark, because as human beings we used to live in caves. We have evolved to sleep in the dark. So make sure you don't have too much light in the room when you sleep. Also, the temperature should be on the cooler side. Don't sleep in a very warm environment. You don't get the deepest levels of sleep. If it is slightly on the cooler side, you get better quality of sleep. So these are some of my suggestions, and obviously exercise is very important to get the best quality of sleep that you can, right? Right. So let's take some of the some different questions, something that will help everybody here. So somebody is talking about, in fact, 2 people are already talking about focus and concentration and daydreaming, right? 2-3 people, I can see those questions. So anybody here who is suffering from not being able to concentrate or focus, do you start daydreaming when you're working? Is daydreaming a problem for you? Type yes in the chat. Arvindam says me. I will give you a crazy hack. This is a hack that I give in my 30-day challenge only. I'll give you a crazy hack right now to instantly remove daydreaming within 7 days, or at least reduce it drastically. Do you want this hack? Type yes in the chat. Type yes in the chat quickly. Yes, yes, yes. A lot of people typing yes in the chat. Okay. So listen to this and understand this, right? When you are studying, or let's say when you are working, what is happening? You are working, you are focused for a certain amount of time, and then suddenly, you get certain prompts or something happens in your mind, you start dreaming. Now you're dreaming. You don't realize that you're dreaming, right? But the moment you come back, oh no, I should have been working. At that moment, you realize that you were dreaming. So here is what I want you to do. Every time you are studying or you're working, whatever it is, I want you to keep a white sheet of paper beside yourself. Blank white sheet of paper, right? Now, every time you start dreaming, you don't realize you're dreaming. As soon as you come back, you realize that you were dreaming. At that point, I want you to put a tick mark on the piece of paper, right? Just put one tick mark. Again, you're studying or working, you're dreaming. As soon as you come back from daydreaming, put another tick mark. Whenever you're distracted, you lose focus, you lose concentration, and you come back, you put a tick mark. So what you are basically doing is you're measuring the performance of your mind, and this is all you need to do. It works like magic. Every day you will see the number of tick marks begin to reduce from yesterday, right? Because now your subconscious mind knows that my performance is being measured, and automatically it optimizes to improve your concentration. This works like magic. Within 7 days, I was able to reduce the number of tick marks from 17 tick marks in an hour to just 3 tick marks in an hour. This is how powerful this is. So if you got it, I've got it in the chat. If you're going to do this, let me know how it goes for you. It's a very powerful technique to improve concentration and focus. Type got it in the chat if you loved it. Okay. Got it. Perfect. Right. A lot of people asking about negativity. Right. Okay. Negativity and right. Okay, so I'll give you a perspective. This is the last question I'm going to answer since it's already 9:30. I'll give you a fresh mindset or perspective that you need to have in order to handle, some, I should say, negativity that is coming into your life, right? So there are two ways in which you get negativity or hate in your life. Either it is from people that you don't know, people online or some colleagues and other people, or it is from your loved ones in your inner circle, your father, you're constantly calling with your mother or somebody like that, right? So two different things you need to understand. Firstly, if it is somebody from the outside, right, online, or somebody giving you hate, understand what kind of a person. Okay, let me ask you, when you have you listened to Sadhguru's video on YouTube anytime, or have you listened to somebody that you deeply love and admire, maybe Mother Teresa, or anybody? Those people are always giving you love, right? And why is that? Because that person is filled with love. Now, anybody who's constantly giving you hate or negativity, it means that that person has a lot of hate and negativity inside them. It has nothing to do with you. That person is going through something tough in their life. There is something they have experienced in their life which is causing you to be negative or hateful towards you, which means it really has nothing to do with you. It has something to do with them. Isn't this true? When are you hateful or negative? Even sometimes we get hateful or negative towards somebody, right? And most of the time it is when you are going through a tough time in your own life. Isn't this true? When you are stressed about already about something, that is the time you are hateful to others, you are negative to others, right? Similarly, it is true for others also. They are also human beings. So anytime anybody is hateful or negative towards you, just tell them it is totally fine. Have empathy for them. Put yourself in their shoes. Maybe they went through something tough that is making them be negative or hateful. Have even sympathy for them. Tell them get well soon, just like Gandhigiri, right? And then accept that there is nothing that has nothing got to do with you, right? Now, the second case in which negativity is coming from your loved ones, maybe your father, maybe your mother. A lot of people tell me, my father is constantly telling me to get a government job and we quarrel a lot. My mother is telling me to get married and we are always fighting, right? How do you make sense of this? See, your mother or your father, they were born in a different decade, completely different decade, 30 years before you were born, right? Now, everybody has a worldview. Whatever you have experienced in this world has created a worldview for you. Your mother or your father, they have a totally different worldview than what you have, right? According to your father and what his life experiences are, it is the best thing for you to get a government job. According to your mother, whatever she has experienced in her life, it is best for you to get married right now. Otherwise, later you'll not find a good boy to get married, right? Every time they tell you something like this, don't listen to what they are saying. Listen to why they are saying it. Why is your father telling you to get a government job? Because according to him, that is the best thing for you. He wants the best for you. Why is your mother telling you anything? Because that is the best thing for you. Why are they telling you, giving you this advice constantly? They want you to have the best in your life, which means this advice is not coming from a place of hate. It is coming from a place of love, and they are willing to fight for something that will benefit you. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So instead of countering that negativity with negativity, counter it with positivity. Never counter it with negativity. Whatever your mother or your father tell you, don't fight with them. Just tell them, explain to them as many times as you can that this is really important for me in my life. I really appreciate that you give me this advice. According to you, you know uh, this is the best for me in my life, but for me, I really want to do this. I want to have 3 years to study, not get married. I want to do this business. I want to do this career, because on the last day of my life, even if I fail, I want to know that I tried. I want to have the satisfaction of knowing that I tried, right? Try and explain this to them. Even if they don't understand, the situation will not escalate, because you are not countering negativity with negativity. You are countering it with positivity and love. You're appreciating the fact they are willing to fight with you for something that they think is the best for you. So if you understood the mindsets required to handle negativity and hate in your life, type got it in the chat right now. Type got it in the chat, right? It's amazing, right? So a lot of questions still there in the chat, but this is all the time we have uh, today. So okay, somebody, okay, I think this is the last question I will take. Okay, one last question, final one, right? Last 2 minutes. Somebody's asked about work life balance. Anybody want to know how to handle work life balance? Type yes in the chat. Are you always frustrated? I can't do enough in my work. My wife is angry, my husband is angry, I can't do enough in my private life. Yes, a lot of people typing yes, yes, please. Yes, yes, yes. Right, right. Don't worry, if you miss this session, somebody typing I missed this session, I will post the recording of this session in 1.5 hours time. You can watch the recording. Yes, the recording will be shared, Sonal. Right. So the last thing I want to take today, the last question, I want to give you this mindset, right? When you talk about work life balance, I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is you can achieve it. The bad news is there is nothing called as work life balance. Let's try and understand this. Have you ever seen those weight measurement, those taraju and those, I don't know what they call that, weight balances that they have when they're selling you vegetables? You know how difficult it is to exactly match. The balance is never exactly the same. It is slightly above or lower, right? So it is really difficult to achieve balance in life. So I want you to stop running after, stop chasing balance in your life. You will never be able to achieve it, and you will always remain frustrated that something or the other is taking more importance than the other thing. True balance can never be achieved. Now, what do we do? Right? How do we remove this frustration? So I want you to understand this. Your life is lived in terms of time, right? You live in terms of your days, in weeks, in months, in years. That is all your life is. So whenever, in whatever time frame you are in your life, right, for the next 3 months, for the next 6 months, for the next 4 weeks, I want you to decide what is your number one priority and what is your number two priority. For example, right now maybe you got a new job or you really want a promotion. Your number one priority becomes work. Don't run after balance. You are going to take in those extra hours of work. You are going to push. You are going to, because you want a promotion, you want to get maybe transferred to a good place, or you want increase in salary, whatever it may be. And it is your job to explain to your loved ones, your wife, your children, your husband, whoever it may be, your parents, that for this 1 year or 3 years or 6 months, whatever the time frame is, I really want to focus on my work. That is going to be my number one priority. And for this time frame, our this relationship, or our whatever extra kind of relationship we have, it's going to take a back seat for some time. I will still try and accommodate one day a month for this, or one day a week for this, right? Whatever it may be. You will not believe how accommodating your partner can be, and how much their support can mean to you. Very often we are chasing things without making our partner a partner. We are not involving them in our processes, right? You have to make them a partner in your career also. And the reverse is also true. At some point in your life, when you have the job you want, when you're comfortable in the salary you have, or something is happening in your life, you are planning to have a baby, or for example, I'm getting married this year. So that point of time, your number one priority becomes your relationships. For me, this year is going to be all about my relationship, right? And my work is going to take a back seat, which means I'm not going to take overtime. I'm not going to work on Saturday, Sundays, no matter how urgent it is. I'm fine in my job, I'm fine in my business, whatever it may be for you, right? And I'm going to take extra time and effort for my relationships. I'm going to go on 3 trips this year. I'm going to go on a date every week. I'm going to watch a movie every Sunday, right? So you spend that extra time in relationship, building those memories that you want. This is how you go through life, not running after balance, but deciding priorities in given time frames. So if this makes sense for you, if you got a breakthrough today, if you learned something new, if you enjoyed this Q&A session, I want you to go to the WhatsApp group right now and type loved it. Type loved it. Sanam says awesome. If you love this Q&A session, I want you to go to the WhatsApp group and type love the Q&A session. right? I want you to give me feedback. If you love the books I gave you, if you love the 3 keys to consistency, if you loved, the concentration focus hack that I gave you, if you love the mindsets about negativity or work life balance, go to the WhatsApp group right now and write, you know I love the Q&A session. And whoever questions I could not answer, guys, there are over 52 questions that I couldn't answer. Don't worry, I'll give you another chance to ask me questions on Sunday, right? Take care, guys. Have a great night ahead. Keep up this energy. I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. We are going to do three things from 8 p.m. to 9:30. Firstly, we'll do 15 minutes of perspective exercise, which is crazy. I don't want you to miss this. Make sure you attend sharp, because first 15 minutes sharp at 8 p.m. will start. We'll do the perspective exercise. Second thing, I'll give you the secret to building permanent habits. How do you convert these new habits you have started into permanent lifelong habits? And third thing, I'm going to give you a detailed breakdown of my 30-day challenge. And I am going to give you a great offer to join in live tomorrow at the end of day 5 live session. So make sure you don't miss it, and jump into the chat right now and type love the Q&A session if you got some value in this Q&A session. I will post the recording of this after around 1.5 hours. It will be processed and uploaded in the WhatsApp group itself. And tomorrow morning there will be no video, but anything you've missed in the last 4 days, make sure you finish that. Or this Q&A session, you want to watch it again, make sure you watch that. Tomorrow 8 p.m. we'll have a live day 5 session. Take care, guys. Have a great night ahead. I'll see you again at 8 p.m. tomorrow.